boys and girls, welcome back. It's story time. Our second book is the title, The Polar Bear, Son, an Inuit Tale. That's going to be a great story. It's illustrated by Lydia Dabovich, and the story is also told by Lydia Dabovich. All right, this is the front cover, back cover of the book, and the spine. Before we go on to our story, we are going to go over our vocabulary words. Some of the words are new. All right. Inuit, we know what an Inuit is. An Inuit is a native people from the Arctic Circle, Russia, Canada, Greenland. So these are the Inuit people in Alaska. Village. A village is a small community of people that live in a village. You can see it, only a little bit of houses there. The village. Fishing is something that the Inuit people had to do to eat. They had to fish. They had to go fishing and get fish so that they could survive by eating fish. That was part of their food that they would eat. They would hunt and fish. Polar bear is a bear that lives out in the Arctic. And a polar bear baby, the babies, are called cubs. Cubs. A hut is a small house. It's a temporary house or a seasonal house that is made of wood, stones, grass, palms, leaves, and branches. Hut. And fur is something that they get from animals. Their fur to stay warm. Fur. They hunt animals and get their fur to stay warm. And jealous, boys and girls, is a feeling. Sometimes we feel jealous when other people are doing something that we're not doing and they get noticed for it, and we feel jealous. We could feel jealous about it. Sometimes when you have brothers or sisters and mama's paying attention to them and they're not giving you the attention because they're focusing on a baby, sometimes you feel jealous. That's a feeling that we get. All right, boys and girls, let's get started by reading our story, The Polar Bear's Son. Look at the illustration. What do you see? I see the Inuit people are sleighing through the snow on a sled, and the dogs are pulling them. That's how they used to go hunting and bring back their hunt. Okay, here we go, the first page. Way up north, all alone in a little hut at the edge of an Inuit village, there lived an old woman. She had no family, no strong sons to hunt for her. The old woman tried to fend for herself by fishing and gathering seeds and berries. But often she was unsuccessful and had no one to depend on. So she had to get help from her neighbors. Here she is, coming out of her little hut. She was old, so it was hard for her to hunt for her food. So one day, out in the ice, the old woman found a little white polar bear cub. His mother must have been killed, the old woman thought, because he was all alone. So she took a liking to him, and what do you think she did? Well, she took him home. She picked him up and took him home. He was a nice, soft little cub, wasn't he? Back in her hut, the old woman fed the cub, sharing with him a little bit of food that she had. I will call you, and she called him Kunikjuak. Kunikjuak. She said, Kunikjuak, my son. So she fed him what she had in her hut, the little bit of food that she had. Kunikjuak was happy with the old woman. He was a friendly, round, and fluffy little bear, and the children of the village loved to play with him, tumbling about and sliding in the snow. Look at all the fun they were having with Kunikjua. Kunikjua was his name. Spring, summer, and long dark winter passed. Kunikjua grew quickly. When spring came again, he was big and strong enough to go hunting and fishing for the old woman. She had her storage right here. Kunikjua would go fishing and bring back the fish to her. And Kunikjua and the old woman would share the food. Soon the old woman had plenty of meat and fish to eat, furs to keep her warm, and blubber for cooking. And as it's the custom of the Inuit, she shared every good catch with the bear and the whole village. Come, called the old woman proudly. There's more than enough for all of us. So she was inviting the whole village to come and share the food that Kunikjua was catching for her. That was very nice of her. Boys and girls, we're going to stop here, and tomorrow we'll continue the story of the polar bear's son. Do you think this story is make-believe or fantasy? Think about it, and you can tell me tomorrow. Thank you, boys and girls. Bye. See you tomorrow.